media, sports are seen as manly activities that show off strength, coordination, and power. In a recent baseball game between the Washington Nationals and the San Francisco Giants, a fight broke out between Bryce Harper and Hunter Strickland. An article written about the fight discusses what happened and the author's opinions of the situation. The writer says things like, "I mean, you look like a dork. You are one of the strongest and most coordinated men in the world, but in what will be the most viewed moment of your career, you look uncoordinated and weak." He also said, "You can't look cool getting hit in the face with a punch, my dude. Didn't you think this through at all?" Now, looking at this through a sociological lens, I find that comments like this are caused by gender socialization. Coakley refers to socialization as a process of learning and social development, which occurs as we interact with one another and become familiar with social worlds. We are influenced by the people around us in our environment because socialization is an interactive process, meaning we make decisions and build relationships that have an effect on our social worlds, and in turn, our gender socialization. This is where hegemonic masculinity plays a role. In sport, men are expected to be tough. Messner brings up the dominant values in sport as being competition, handing out pain to opponents, group-based bonding through homophobia and misogyny, and violence as means of success. Because this ideal is praised in society, gender socialization is affected, causing people to believe that these are important things for athletes to be. The article about the fight questions the player's masculinity because of his missed swings at his opponent. Since he did not harm his opponent successfully, he is being made fun of and being seen as uncoordinated and weak. In the article, Exploring Masculinity and Gender in the Bodies, Performances, and Emotions of Scholastic Wrestlers, Baker and Hotek talk about the social construction of gender in wrestling, and how masculinity is believed to refer to as being a man who is strong, rational, determined, competitive, physically strong, emotionally detached, and non-feminine. They also bring up the fact that women are supposed to be physically attractive, nurturing, emotional, and caring. The opposite applies for women. Women are expected to be feminine and not too strong, even in sports. These ideologies that are all throughout society and the media get passed on to young people through gender socialization. In regards to gender socialization, people are learning heterosexism and homophobia. Heterosexism is a construct that makes heterosexuality the normal sexual orientation that is widely accepted by society. People have this idea that heterosexuality is normal, and anything outside of that is weird and referred to as different. With this idea comes homophobia. The following clip is a video of a baseball player apologizing for using homophobic slurs.
I was ashamed, but I understand that I stand here with an opportunity to turn this into something that is going to be very positive. I have the ability to be made an example of, and I'm willing to accept that. And hopefully my teammates, Major League Baseball, other sports, just people in society are going to learn from this, that there's no place for this type of language on a baseball field, at home, in a clubhouse, with your friends, in the privacy of your home. There's words out there that are very offensive to a lot of people, regardless of how you use them or when you say them. There's a lot of different words that could have been said in the heat of the moment, but that was the word that came out, and I regret saying it wholeheartedly. But like I said, I'm going to be used as an example of how words can really offend a lot of people, and I look forward to making it right.
This kind of homophobia is not only found in men's sports, but also in women's sports. Homophobia is the discrimination against homosexual people. Homophobia arises because of this idea that heterosexuality is the norm, which then causes people to discriminate against other people who do not fit into that specific category. I now have a short interview with a student named Cora Anderson, where she will discuss homophobia in sport. What sport did you play in high school?
I played softball throughout high school, and I was the catcher.
Did people on your team know about your sexual orientation?
Yeah, most of them have known since middle school.
Did you ever experience any homophobia by either your coach, team members, or competition?
Yeah, I actually used to experience a lot through my teammates. They didn't like sharing a locker room with me and changing in front of me because I was a lesbian.
Why do you think that your teammates did this to you?
I just don't think that they were used to being around anyone that was gay.
Did you ever try and tell someone about the homophobia that you experienced?
No, I never told anyone because I didn't think that they'd really bother to do anything about it.
That's understandable. Do you regret coming out to your teammates?
No, I feel like it's important for them to know that being a lesbian doesn't affect my physical capability.
Yeah, I feel like there's a misconception that sexual orientation has an effect. As you can see, homophobia is prevalent in male and female sports. The problem with articles like the one discussed is that it reinforces this type of thinking. Gender socialization is being affected by things such as hegemonic masculinity, heterosexism, and homophobia in a very negative way. This socialization enables for sports to be all about violence and being tough, which then just causes hegemonic masculinity, heterosexism, and homophobia to be things that exist today in our society.
Well, she was an American girl.